Good morning.
My name is Lorna Lane, and I am a member of the Board of Trustees of this congregation. Welcome to you all. The Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Elkhart is a welcoming community encouraging religious freedom, nurturing individual, spiritual, and health ethical growth, celebrating diversity, and promoting a just and sustainable world. If you would like to learn more about this fellowship, please look at our website at uufe.org and join us after the service for our potluck. For the listening enjoyment of all, we please ask that you, at this time, turn off or turn to vibrate your cell phones. Also, if you need hearing support, please ask at the sound desk in the back of the room for assistance. Thank you.
A few announcements this morning. There are sign-up sheets on Ivy Island for both Kenley Inglefield and Rich Hackle services. A memorial for Kenley Inglefield will be held Saturday, June 1st at 1 p.m. A visitation and refreshments will be held afterwards. The memorial service for Rich Hackle is tentatively to be held Wednesday, June 19th in the evening. So June 1st and June 19th, keep those tagged. Today is our potluck and committee fair. So be sure, even if you don't want to stay and eat, go back and check out what we've got put on all the tables out back in the gathering place for all the committees. I think you'll be surprised. Also, there'll be continuing sign-ups for CPR and UU the Vote for social justice, and I'll have more to say about that later in the service. Ken wants to give us a good announcement.
This will just be a quick announcement. My name's Ken. I'm the treasurer here at UUFE. This week we got our letter, our 2024 letter from Sophia Belcourt, the new UUA president. And she congratulates us on the fact that this is actually our 11th year as an honor congregation, which means that we fulfilled our pledge to UUA, which is kind of a nice honor. And I've put our little plaque, I guess, or notice here in the frame, and also the letter. So I just wanted to let everybody know your volunteerism and your ability to maintain your pledge levels has been well appreciated. Thank you.
We ring the gong 3 times, once for those who came before us and made a place for us. Once for those who are here now. And once for those who will come after and build on the dream. Hear these words by Mark Morrison Reed for our chalice lighting this morning. The central task of the religious community is to unveil the bonds that binds each to all. There is a connectedness, a relationship discovered amid the particulars of our own lives and the lives of others. Once felt, it inspires us to act for justice. It is the church that assures us that we are not struggling for justice on our own, but as members of a larger community. The religious community is essential, for alone our vision is too narrow to see all that must be seen, and our strength too limited to do all that must be done. Together, our vision widens and our strength is renewed. Would you repeat with me now as printed in the order of service, the Unison Covenant? Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. To dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. This is our covenant. The children can now be dismissed. R.E. Good group this morning. If you're willing and able, would you want to stand, please, and help sing number 121, We'll Build a Land, verses 1, 2, and 4. Are we all soul friends? I doubt if there's a person in this room that has never been a volunteer. As we all know, the opportunities to make ourselves available in service to others is almost endless. My thoughts today, however, are focused on community, a community of friends, of people who really care for each other. I like to think of volunteerism at UUFE as the link that unites our diversity. We have great appreciation for the fact that we are accepting and supportive of everyone. Our membership and visitors have always been representative of the entire theological spectrum that humans experience. We come together each Sunday and celebrate that diversity. When you think about it, it's pretty amazing and very inspiring. We work and play and worship together. Our common ground is to make this fellowship succeed, and we do that by nurturing and supporting each other by volunteering. No one made any of us, hopefully, be here this morning. We are here by choice. We have all found something here that speaks to us. My experience in living is that when I have something meaningful and exciting in my life, I just naturally want to share it with someone. People we trust the most are the lucky recipients of that sharing and caring. In short, I believe all of us want to help friends just as we would help the closest members of our immediate family. Listen to these enlightening words from Donna Markova's inspirational book, I Will Not Die an Unlived Life. Her introduction to chapter 14, entitled, What Have I Been Given with Which to Give, contains these words. What are your inner gifts and talents? Most of us are reasonably articulate about our deficits and weaknesses. How many we got wrong on our spelling tests, how many things we have failed to accomplish during any given day. We become fluent at explaining our incompetencies, but look straight at our gifts and talents and then mutter, oh, that old thing. This leaves us awkward and confused about how to bring our assets and resources to the rest of the community. Too many of us believe we don't matter and that what we do doesn't really make a difference. I want to conclude my musing this morning with a poem by John O'Donohue. He has a beautiful little book of Celtic wisdom that is simply entitled Anam Cara. Anam Cara is a phrase that refers to the Celtic concept of the soul friend in religion and spirituality. A Friendship Blessing by John O'Donohue. May you be blessed with good friends. May you learn to be a good friend to yourself. May you be able to journey to that place in your soul where there is great love, warmth, feeling, and forgiveness. May this change you. May it transfigure that which is negative, distant, or cold in you. May you be brought to the real passion, kinship, and affinity of belonging. May you treasure your friends. May you be good to them, and may you be there for them. May they bring you all the blessings, challenges, truth, and light that you need for your journey. Somebody got the hot oven going. May you never be isolated. May you always be in the gentle rest of belonging with your Anam Cara. This morning is volunteerism day, I guess you could call it. And I want to just we all like our return on our investment, especially endowment committee. But I want to highlight a couple things from the Justice Committee where your return on your investment, I don't think can be any greater. I mentioned a couple weeks ago after the blessing bags that $5, just $5 contribution from everybody, twice or 3 times a year, will reach 50 homeless people. That's how big this spread can be. The other thing is, now my mind is blank on the other issue that I was going to talk about. That's terrible, and I'm taking brain medicine too. Boy, that's terrible. Huh? No, something to do with Justice Committee. Oh, yes. The road cleanup. I even got everybody highlighted here. Yesterday, imagine this. We've been doing this over 5 years. In those 5 years, for 1 hour a day, twice a week, twice a year, that's 2 hours a year, we've bagged over 150-gallon trash bags getting them out of the street. So we had a successful day yesterday. Myself and Ken and Joan Claiborne, Janelle Crump, Randy Demerly, Ray Enfield, Ron and Linda Gill, and Renee Rocco. Renee, she's gone. How do you pronounce her last name? Rucco. I never get her name right. But anyway, thank you so much for helping yesterday, and it was another successful cleanup. You can see all our stuff stacked at the road sign at County Road 7 and And what's the street we come in on? Madrell.
No, not all of it, Steve. We find some interesting things when we're cleaning up, and I saw this hoodie, you know, wet and dirty and thrown under a bush, and I thought, you know, maybe I could just, you know, clean that up. Maybe it'll be worth someone wearing. Well, it was washed and rinsed twice in very hot water. And if anyone wants a 3X hoodie, it's not in perfect shape, but it's free.
Each week we contribute half of our offering to an organization or group that has like values as UUFE. This week we will be sharing with the Elkhart County Women's Shelter, which is a YWCA group, and that's who we give our mittens and hats and scarves to in the Christmas tree every year. So please give generously. Thank you.
Joy and fulfillment of volunteering. I'm going to start off with some definitions. Joy, from dictionary.com. The emotion of great delight or happiness caused by something exceptionally good or exciting, keen pleasure or elation. A source or cause of keen pleasure or delight, something or someone greatly appreciated or valued. The expression or display of glad feelings. Festive gaiety. A state of happiness or felicity. We would all love to feel these kinds of things every day, and hopefully we find ways to find the joy in all the little things. When we acknowledge all the things that bring us joy, we are better able to see that even though not everything is going well, there is always something to be thankful for. Fulfillment, noun. The act or state of fulfilling, to achieve fulfillment of one's hopes. The state or quality of being fulfilled, completion, realization. The process or business of handling and executing customer orders as packing, shipping, or processing checks. When we have completed a project, attained an achievement, or gained a different way of thinking and interacting with others, it can give us such a wonderful feeling of fulfillment. This can sometimes give us a feeling of pride in our accomplishment. This pairing, in my mind, is a positive occurrence. We should feel prideful in our accomplishments, regardless of how small. Volunteer. Noun. A person who voluntarily offers to perform a service or other undertaking. A person who performs a service willingly and without pay. As many of you know, I have been a member of this fellowship for over 18 years, and I have been very active in the business of the fellowship for about the last 12. Having served on membership, worship and arts, being a teacher for our religious education, being active with our Lego League and our Panda Youth Group, being active with our Covenant of Unitarian Universalist Pagans, and a 3-year trustee position on the board pre-pandemic, and now as the board secretary. But those aren't the only ways that I take ownership of this place. In years past, I have assisted my now ex-husband to ensure coffee and hot water for tea were ready after Sunday service. I've helped set up and tear down after events. I've assisted with grounds cleanup, roadside cleanup, and in general, kept an eye on our campus throughout the week when my work was close. Why are all these things important, you might ask? There are several reasons. Each of our input is important. One of which is a better understanding of how each of us can be of service to this place and to each other. First, I want to address the 3 major ways we can give to this fellowship: talent, time, and treasure. These are our 3 T's and our ways of taking ownership. Talent, our personal gifts of things we enjoy, things we do well, and we like to share with others. Everything from our ability to balance a budget, recognize the difference between a plant we don't want in our flower beds, our passion for playing an instrument or vocally singing, to our understanding of technologies that assist us to broadcast our services, editing them for uploading to YouTube, and even our understanding of social media to help our greater community know that we are here and always have something going on, and the constant care we show each other. These could be our talents if we choose to volunteer for the fellowship. Time. Every one of us who has served and are currently serving on committees will tell you that it does take time away from our personal lives to serve on our committees. However, we choose to make that time commitment to the committees we serve on and to this fellowship, because we feel that we have found in this fellowship is worth our investment to ensure that it continues, to reach out into our community and be the beacon of hope and continued evolving understanding. This has been my main source of giving to this fellowship over the last 10 plus years due to my lack of financial stability. I don't think many of you know that I have not been able to financially contribute to this congregation, and so I choose to donate my time and my treasure when I have it, and my talent. And while the financial bottom line is important for the fellowship's stability, to maintain the building and the campus, we are not the building. We are the people that make being in the building worthwhile. That brings me to treasure. The third and the last of our T's. Our stewardship committees have always done a great job of the very delicate work asking our members to pledge what they feel they can in order to keep our doors open and our lights on. The financial contributions also help pay to keep us insured, heated, cooled, and hopefully soon a contract part-time minister. None of these things can happen on a long-term sustainable level without the continued pledges from our current membership and new pledges from our future members. These are the facts and some of my opinions, lovingly varied, vibrant fellowship that I have always been happy to call my spiritual home. For those of you that have been with me in the last 10 years, you know that I'm not always good at speaking the truth of my feelings, and I thank you for putting up with me. But without the love, support, and difficult discussions from places of genuine love, I don't want to think about where I'd be. All of us are characters in a play that we don't always know the ending, and I wouldn't trade any of you for the world. I will never be able to find quite the same feeling of belonging as when I get to walk into our building, stride through their halls, and remember the good times and the sad times, the times of strife, not just involving this beloved fellowship, but also my personal life. I was brought up in a church. I had a childlike understanding of what it meant to be and belong to a spiritual home. I was taught that spirituality begins at home, and any place that you decide that meets your criteria for a place you can learn and grow is an extension of your spiritual home practice. When I was expecting, I knew that I needed to find a place full of people that would help teach my child about all the different religions, belief systems, and how fundamentally they have common ground. I fell in love with this place. And the first time I showed up on potluck Sunday, I loved that there was a nursery where I could take my new child to not be a distraction and yet hear the messages delivered. I love that we are a fellowship built around its kitchen. Having spent 17 years in food service, it holds a special place in my heart. While we may not have stained glass windows, which I desperately love, we have the natural beauty of our wooded lots and views out of them from our sanctuary windows. We have space to host any number of events and happenings and for our local community. But best of all, we have each other. This fellowship boasts some of the most thought-provoking, giving, heartfelt people I have grown to admire, appreciate, and love. Have the hours I have spent on committees taken time away from my personal life? Sure. Has it meant added stress trying to find solutions to problems that I never thought I'd ever be involved in? Yeah. Absolutely. It has taught me how to work with people that I otherwise might never have had the opportunity to meet, get to know, and call friends. Yeah, some of our elders in this fellowship have taught me about finances, crafting, fixing and maintaining things, and the pleasure of clean spaces. The joy that I experience when working with our youth and the things they have taught me, I can never express how much it has meant to me. The months and possibly years that I would show up to make coffee, set the hot water for tea, helped me understand that even that simple service is appreciated and valued, especially for potluck. Worship and arts and putting together meaningful services has been a very meaningful form of service for me. I originally joined that committee because I realized that my public speaking skills were slipping. And I know that I can be very good at it. But that being said, I and our current Worship and Arts Committee are proud of the difficult work we have put into each and every service. Communicating with, organizing with, scheduling with, and welcoming to our fellowship every week varied guest speakers, ordained ministers, and our own leadership in our congregation. It is a part of the business of church that I have made the choice to put myself in the rooms where the decisions are made. I firmly feel that deciding that this fellowship meets a person's needs for a spiritual home also means taking ownership of the fellowship. Our talents are specific to us. Our time is precious and valuable, and our treasures are sometimes too easily traded for things that don't really fulfill us. My hope is that each of you will decide for yourselves how much of your own talent, time, and treasure you can volunteer to this congregation, with the understanding that what you will potentially receive in return can sustain you in ways that you never expected. The relationships that are built by being in the rooms where the decisions are made might remind you that regardless of what else is going on in your life, you are important and you belong. Our hope is that this beloved community will be around not just for years to come, but for generations. Thank you.
If you're willing and able, let's sing number 108, Remain Standing for the benediction. My life flows on in endless song, number 1. Joan Wester Anderson's work, Where Angels Walk. We can all be angels to one another. We can choose to obey the still small stirring within, the little whisper that says, go, ask, reach out. Be an answer to someone's plea. You have a part to play. The world will be a better place for it. And wherever they are, the angels will dance. You may be seated. I have a correction. The song by Jefferson Airplane is not volunteering, it's volunteers. And Bill and I were talking earlier about the 60s, the revolution actually that was trying to take place. That's how this song was started. One of the authors saw a truck drive by with volunteers written for whether it's the Army, just for service, for anything. He saw this truck, and that's what stimulated the writing of the song "Volunteers" by Jefferson Airplane.